your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Hello, everybody. Brian Engelman here at 2018 Politicon in Los Angeles, California. I'm joined with Joel Pollak. Joel is the senior editor at Breitbart. Did I say that right?
Editor at large.
At large. That was the at large part. I knew I missed something.
It's kind
Joel?
of like free safety. You know, I cover whatever is out there.
I'm a Browns fan, so I don't know. Maybe you're talking about successful football, and I'm not hip to that.
Well, I'm a Bears fan. We've lost 2 games in a row now that we could have won. So hopefully the midterms will go a little bit better for my team.
I think we just had our 4th overtime game and another loss today.
Oh,
4
really?
overtimes.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what? You did have a tie earlier in the season, which is always fun.
True.
And you won one of those overtime games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually live near a Cleveland Browns bar, if you can believe it. In L.A., you know, we haven't had football teams that are local until very recently.
Right.
The Rams and the Chargers came to town. The Rams were here 20 years ago, whatever. But so most neighborhoods have bars that are devoted to some team from somewhere else. So I live between a Cleveland Browns bar and a Giants bar, and the Bears bar is about a mile from my house. So when I want to watch the Bears game and feel like I'm at Soldier Field, I go to the Bears bar. But there's literally a Cleveland Browns bar near my house, and they have a giant inflatable Cleveland Browns player outside, and I guess they get a crowd in there. Not too many.
Which place is that? On Cahuenga?
No. It's in Santa Monica.
Okay.
There's a Browns bar. The Giants bar is on 23rd and Wilshire. The Philadelphia Eagles bar is on, I think, Santa Monica and 3rd. And they also have a bunch of other floor shows they do. I don't know. But so it's every bar, you know, that has anything going on the rest of the week has a Sunday devoted to a football team from somewhere else. I haven't found the Chargers bar or the Rams bar in LA yet. So I'm sure they exist. They just don't happen to exist in my neighborhood.
Well, you know, politics in 2018, it is a team sport. It's identity politics. I mean, what do you make of this, where we found ourselves?
Well, I saw an interesting article in Axios this week about how 14% of Americans are driving the polarization of the rest of America. In other words, 84% of the American people, or 85, 86, are basically okay with people who have different opinions from them, but there's a number of Americans, a minority, who are engaged in a very active way, which is good, but sometimes in a hostile way online, and those are the people coming on your Facebook and arguing with you. Those are the people tweeting nasty things at you. And it actually turns out to be a minority of people. Now, if you're on social media and that's happening to a lot, it can feel like everybody's for you or against you or whatever, but most Americans are actually pretty decent in talking about politics. So I think we're actually less divided than the media would have us believe, although I think those divisions do become real over time. But I'm encouraged. You know, I have a sort of pet theory. I don't know who's going to win the midterm elections. I think Republicans have a good chance of holding both the Senate and the House, which I didn't think a few weeks ago. So now it's a real fight. It could happen. But it almost feels like America has already won this midterm because Democrats understand they're probably not going to win by a large margin if they do win the House. And in that case, I think Nancy Pelosi might actually be in trouble. If she returns as Speaker, she's already said now a few days ago to the LA Times that she probably wouldn't be there that long. And I saw that and I sent that to a friend and said, America just won the election. Because I don't think Democrats want her back either. If she comes in with a big Democratic margin, she'll be able to say, oh, I brought all these people back into the House and you got to keep reelecting me Speaker. But I think there are enough Republicans who are going to turn out who are going to punish the Democratic Party for not recycling, for not changing their leadership, that I think America wants to see new leaders. We're either going to get Kevin McCarthy in the House or we're going to get Nancy Pelosi plus whoever succeeds her. Her successor apparently is Adam Schiff. Don't know how that's going to work out, but apparently she's suggested that name. The LA Times reported that. So I don't think America is going to get necessarily better leadership with the new Democratic Speaker if she decides to quit after one term, but at least we'll have new faces. So I think America so far is actually doing pretty well, even though this election feels like a real tough battle.
Well, and in midterms, that's always when you start looking at 2020 and you go, who's in the
Right.
bullpen? Who's in the bullpen for these guys?
Right.
Are we getting Biden and Clinton again in 20? Like, is it going to be the same song and dance, or something out of left field like Barack Obama, like took it by storm and took the nomination?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I said, since I'm on record saying this, I guess I should say it again. I said long shot, but possible candidate for 2020 on the Democratic side would be Doug Jones, the senator from Alabama, because Democrats may decide, especially if they lose on November 6th in the midterms, they may decide they need to move back to the center to appeal to the broader American electorate they lost touch with, and Doug Jones won in a deeply conservative state, so he may have the formula. Plus, he's going to have to run for re-election, then he may realize it's hard to win as a Democrat again when you're not running against Roy Moore, so he might come back as a presidential candidate and have a decent shot. Kamala Harris is out there with a lot of California characters out there. Right now, it looks like Trump is pretty hard to beat. We'll see what happens in the next 2 years. A lot of things can happen, but with the economy going as well as it is, foreign policy coming together, I think that he is in a very good position to win in 2020. Democrats may try to elevate new voices in their party for that very reason. In other words, if they recognize this isn't necessarily a winnable presidential election, but they want to bring new leaders out and lay the foundations for the future, they may bet on someone who's a first-term senator like Kamala Harris, or a big city mayor who's never held federal office like Eric Garcetti. So, we'll see. We're going to have fun either way because, I don't agree with those candidates, and they do things that make our audience laugh. So, we'll get a lot of traffic out of them either way.
Well, let me
Joe Biden. Yeah.
We'll
Please run. Yeah.
Well, that's the other part of this is going, well, either they're going to bring new blood in knowing they don't have a chance, or since we don't have a chance, give Hillary another shot or give Biden a shot, a legacy thing, and just they're going to, cede the election anyway because there's no chance of the good economy, no more war.
I mean, Bernie is thinking about running. And, Bernie, I don't know how old he'd be in 2020. I'm not saying age should necessarily be disqualifying. I mean, Jerry Brown is well into his 80s and still running California. But, Bernie has seeded the cloud, if you will, with a lot of Bernie-crats, especially in California. A lot of the people running for these offices, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in New York and Brooklyn and Queens winning that primary. And you've got a lot of Bernie clones. This guy, Mike Levin, who's running in the 49th district, I'm only name-checking him because he's one to watch if he wins. He's so far left, it's almost impossible to believe he can win that district. Maybe he'll lose. But he is at least running a very good race there against a very good Republican, Diane Harkey, who's the highest-ranking Republican in California in terms of statewide office. She's an excellent candidate, but Mike Levin's like way out in left field, like all these crazy policies for a conservative district. But he's also very high up within the Democratic Party. The Bernie-crats have built an infrastructure inside big blue states like California, and they may feel strong going into 2020. And Bernie's certainly not bowing out. He's coming here in a few days. He's coming to California to campaign for candidates for House. He's going around the country campaigning for other progressives. So he's definitely he definitely looks like someone who thinks he's going to run in 2020.
We shall see. Well, let's do this. Let me get out of the way because you got people, tell them about the books. You're here doing a book signing. Tell us about what you're up to.
I don't know what they're selling over there.
Well, then give us
my high school yearbook, like Brett Kavanaugh. I'll have to sign under whatever I wrote. I got to tell you, I actually went through an old high school yearbook when this whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, because I remember people wrote crazy things. And I won't name the person who did this, but I found that a girl wrote to me, sorry for all the ass pinching. Now, I have no idea what that, I have no recollection of what she did to me. I obviously wasn't traumatized by it. I don't know what she's talking about, but you can be sure if she is up for Supreme Court Justice, I'll find a way to remember.
You're holding gold. You're holding gold. Well, then tell people about where they can find more about what you're up to. And obviously, your
Breitbart.com. And follow me on Twitter at Joel Pollak. That's where I do most of my political sniping. I try to be nice. I don't swear, but I do get a little strident sometimes. But Breitbart.com. I'm very busy there, and all the other writers at Breitbart who are here. Always a good time.
Excellent. Well, Joel, for the viewers, we met Joel in 2016 outside. It was the day Milo Yiannopoulos got banned on Twitter. It was a Gay Republicans for Trump event, gays for Trump, and it was there was an altercation, if you will. It was the Daily Show, kind of getting in this guy's face and trying to strong arm and getting physical, and we just had the cameras rolling, and it got weird, and we were just there watching, and it was kind of like foretelling taking off the mask in the Scooby-Doo. You're seeing the media, the claws were coming out, and it got weird.
Well, what happened was, look, Breitbart has been involved in parties like that for a while now. I think Andrew Breitbart, when he was still alive, threw the first party for Go Proud at CPAC. So it was the first sort of party for gay and lesbian conservatives. And a lot of people went who weren't gay and lesbian but wanted to be supportive of them coming out within the conservative movement. And so Breitbart's always kind of wanted to be there when those kinds of events happen. So I went to this party, Breitbart was involved, Milo was there, Gays for Trump. And I saw the Daily Show crew outside the party as these young kids started coming out, many of whom probably had never been to a political event before. They were coming out of the closet for the second time, in a sense, as Republicans.
I wonder which is more stigmatized in 2018. I think it's obvious.
So I kind of know the way the Daily Show does things. They do interviews and they chop them up. So I kind of hung back and I was recording what they were doing so that when the show came out later about this party, I could see if they had chopped it up, if they had edited it to make the kids look bad. I was feeling a little bit protective of some of these kids. And the Daily Show people got in my face and tried to stop me from taping them. And I said, well, you're on a public university campus, which is where the party was. This is a total free speech zone. I mean, I have the same right to tape here that you do.
Yeah, it was right at Cleveland State University, right outside.
And they got in my face, and eventually I just kept filming, and so they packed up their camera and their microphone and their lights, and they went home. And
But not before I saw him throw a chicken wing at you, and you said, hey, don't touch me, don't touch me. And I was like, okay, this is getting interesting.
yeah, the old chicken wing.
It was a chicken wing from a chicken guy. Sorry, I don't know the guy, but he was.
Yeah, it was a revealing moment. It was, and then it made and then your video was on the Drudge Report the next day.
Yeah, woke up front page of Judge. You know, we're right there in the story. I'm like, I gotta talk to Joel again. It's been too long, and just saw you walking. Politicon's a great place. You turn around and go, let's say hello. So, man, it's really nice seeing you again. Keep up the good work at Breitbart, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good to see you.
To be continued.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.